Are you aware of the subtle ways people might be manipulating you? Today, we will dive into Robert Greene's provocative book, The 48 Laws of Power. While many dismiss it as a manual for unethical manipulation, Greene argues that to navigate life successfully, we must confront the harsh realities of human behavior. After all, we interact with others daily, and ignoring these truths can leave us vulnerable to manipulation. Think of these laws as tools, neither inherently good nor evil. Their impact depends entirely on how you choose to wield them. In this video, we will explore laws 1 through 8, offering valuable insights into human behavior and interactions. Let's get started. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Imagine this. Nicolas Fouquet, a powerful finance minister under Louis XIV, throws an extravagant party to impress the king. It was the most spectacular event anyone had ever seen, featuring fireworks, lavish feasts, and beautiful gardens that would later inspire the construction of the Grand Palace of Versailles, a symbol of royal power and grandeur. But instead of being flattered, the king felt overshadowed. Days later, Fouquet was arrested and spent the rest of his life in prison. Why? He outshined his master, making Louis XIV feel small in comparison. Now, let's look at Galileo. When he discovered Jupiter's moons, he didn't just announce it. He dedicated his discovery to Cosimo the son of the Medici family, tying their name to the stars. Rather than outshining his master, Galileo made the Medici family shine brighter. As a result, he secured their protection and patronage for life. The lesson here is clear. Never outshine the person above you. Make them feel secure, even if it means downplaying your talents. When you make your superiors look good, you protect your position. But beware. If your superior is weak or on the decline, outshining them might be the right move. Just be cautious and patient. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. We often assume our friends will always have our best interests at heart. But when it comes to power, trusting friends blindly can be dangerous. Friends can become envious, entitled, or even betray you when they no longer benefit from your success. On the other hand, enemies, when turned into allies, have something to prove and can often be more loyal than friends. Take the example of Michael III, the Byzantine emperor in the 9th century. He trusted his close friend Basil, elevating him from humble origins to a position of power. But Basil, fueled by ambition, eventually betrayed Michael and had him murdered. This is a cautionary tale of how dangerous it can be to put too much trust in friends, who often take you for granted or betray you when it suits them. Contrastingly, Emperor Sung of China in the 10th century turned former enemies into loyal subjects. He knew that enemies, spared from death, would often become more grateful and trustworthy than friends who only expect more favors. The key lesson here is that enemies can sometimes be more valuable than friends. A former enemy has everything to prove, while friends may undermine you due to envy or expectation. Use enemies strategically, and they may become your most loyal allies. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. When it comes to gaining and maintaining power, the art of keeping your true motives hidden is invaluable. By concealing your real intentions, you keep others guessing, unable to prepare defenses against you. A perfect example of this comes from Otto von Bismarck, a German statesman in the mid-19th century. In 1850, Bismarck was a passionate advocate for Prussian power and the unification of Germany. He wanted war with Austria, but when the moment came, he surprised everyone by delivering a speech in Parliament opposing the war. Bismarck even praised Austria, confusing the public and his fellow deputies. But Bismarck had a calculated plan. He knew Prussia's military was not ready for war, and if the conflict were lost, his career would be at risk. By concealing his true desire for conflict, he threw everyone off the scent. Eventually, he rose to power and executed his real plan, leading Prussia to victory over Austria and uniting Germany under Prussian leadership. The lesson: conceal your intentions by misleading others about your true goals. Let them focus on what you want them to see while you work on your real agenda behind the scenes. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. One of the most powerful strategies in life is to speak less. The more you talk, the more likely you are to reveal too much or say something foolish. By saying less, you project an image of control and leave people guessing, often creating an aura of mystery. A great example of this strategy comes from the famous artist Andy Warhol. In his early life, Warhol realized that people often turned against those who talked too much. He learned that by remaining quiet and vague, he held more power. In interviews, Warhol would give short, cryptic answers that confused and intrigued his audience. Journalists would struggle to interpret his words, searching for profound meaning in his often meaningless responses. This made Warhol seem mysterious and wise, enhancing his reputation as a genius. By saying less, you not only avoid revealing your true thoughts, but you also gain the upper hand. People will read into your words more than is there, and they'll respect you more for your brevity. The lesson? Be cautious with your words. The less you say, the more control you have over how others perceive you. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is one of the most powerful assets you can have. It can make or break your success in both personal and professional endeavors. Once established, it can protect you, intimidate your rivals, and open doors. But if it slips, even slightly, you become vulnerable to attack from all sides. That's why guarding your reputation is paramount. One notable example is General Erwin Rommel during World War II. Rommel was a German general known for his strategic brilliance in desert warfare. His reputation for being cunning and unpredictable spread so widely that entire cities would evacuate upon hearing of his approach, even when his forces were depleted and outnumbered. Rommel's reputation alone became a powerful weapon. Reputation must be cultivated carefully. Start by focusing on one exceptional quality, whether it's honesty, intelligence, or charm, and build it over time. A strong reputation will work for you without requiring constant effort, and people will perceive your future actions through the lens of your established image. The lesson: guard your reputation fiercely and use it as a tool to magnify your influence. If it becomes compromised, fix it immediately before the damage spreads. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. In a world where everyone is competing for attention, the worst mistake you can make is to blend into the crowd. To achieve power, you must stand out and make sure people notice you. Being seen and heard is essential. Without attention, you are invisible and irrelevant. This makes attention one of the greatest forms of currency in the pursuit of power. A great example of this is P.T. Barnum, the famous 19th century showman. Barnum believed that all publicity is good publicity. Whether people were praising or criticizing him, it didn't matter, as long as they were talking about him. When his shows were attacked by critics, Barnum went out of his way to offer those same critics the best seats at his next performance. He even went so far as to write anonymous criticisms of his own shows just to keep people intrigued and talking. For Barnum, being ignored was the worst possible outcome. By drawing attention to himself, whether through spectacle or scandal, Barnum built an empire of entertainment. He knew that attention is power, and silence is the death of influence. The lesson: in the world of power, standing out is crucial. If you can't garner positive attention, stir up controversy. Just never allow yourself to be forgotten. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Powerful people understand that time and energy are limited resources. Instead of doing everything yourself, learn to use the knowledge, skills, and efforts of others to advance your own goals. By letting others handle the hard work, you appear more efficient, powerful, and capable while saving yourself time and energy. A great example is Thomas Edison, who was less of an inventor and more of a businessman and publicist. He often hired experts to do the technical work for him, while he took the credit for their inventions. This allowed Edison to gain widespread fame and recognition, even though much of the work was done by others, such as Nikola Tesla. The lesson here is that by leveraging the efforts of others, you can achieve more without exhausting yourself. Ensure that you claim the credit for their work, as this is a key aspect of maintaining power. People will remember your name, not the names of those behind the scenes. The takeaway: use the talents and energy of others to your advantage, and don't let modesty prevent you from taking the credit you deserve. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Power is best maintained when you are in control, and one of the most effective ways to do that is by making others come to you. When you force your opponents to act first, they abandon their plans and are forced to operate on your terms. By using bait, you can lure them into your territory, where you hold the advantage. During the 1905 Russo-Japanese War, Admiral Togo Heihachiro masterfully used this strategy. He spread misinformation to lure the Russian fleet into taking a longer, more difficult route. By forcing the Russians to travel this exhausting path, they arrived in Japanese waters, weary and overextended. The waiting Japanese navy, well rested and strategically positioned, easily defeated the Russian fleet. This law teaches that when others are forced to come to you, they are in a weaker position. Whether in negotiations, conflicts, or everyday encounters, the person who is reacting is at a disadvantage, and you maintain the upper hand. The lesson: control is about positioning. Make others come to you, ensuring that you dictate the terms and remain in power. And that's it for today. We've uncovered the first 8 laws from the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, revealing essential insights into human behavior and the dynamics of power. Remember, these laws are tools for empowerment. How you choose to wield them is up to you. If you found this video valuable, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. Also, let us know in the comments if there are specific topics or books you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.